Chat, it's Monday. You can't be doing this. This is illegal. It's too early for this. We hadn't even finished pre-roll and you'll already started a hype train. How could you? How could you? How could you do this to me? Keep doing it? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, but we got house funds to raise. Oh? Oh, it snoozed it. Oh my God, the ads never ran. Oh, fuck me running. We're still gonna have a weird ad break and whenever the hype train ends. Never let it end, chat. Never let it end. And well, actually, we'll run out of snoozes. We're already down to one snooze. Shit. 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 Train, train, train. No. No. Well, I guess this is where we are today. I guess this is what we are doing. Thank you for the 5 stream streak. Also, hold on. Let me see real quick. Who all streaked? Who all dropped their pants and ran across the field? Carrier 325 stream streak. Woozer with 5 stream streak. And Holodie with another 5 stream streak. Holy shit, you guys. Holy shit, you guys. Oh my goodness. And Light. Hell yeah, this is another 7 stream streak. Holy shit. Holy shit. I always forget. What are the intervals? Oh my God, grins. Oh my God, grit. Oh, hold on. I see the issue. I forgot a thing because I was too focused on making the thumbnail. That's why the redeems weren't going off. Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. See, this is the thing. Since I've started doing thumbnails before every stream, I keep forgetting to open other shit. I keep forgetting to open other shit. I do it to myself. I do it to myself. All right, that's open, which I owe y'all an Armstrong and a parade. I'm working on it. Shut up. Stop hitting me. I'm working on it. Okay. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about interrupt. Armstrong.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
Okay. Five, 3, 5, 7, 10, and then every 5th. Okay. Set up a stream deck button to open all my apps. Oh no, that's what I have. I have one button. Well, I have one button. I really should make it so that it opens. Oh goodness, VTS with it, because like I have one that opens VTS by itself, and then I have another button that opens tits and mix it up. But I need to add VBridger to that. I need to add VBridger to that at this point because, well, now we have VBridger, and I get the sexy mouth motion. Also, chat, if you ever see me doing one of those like silent clips, because I think this is hilarious and I want to share with you what I do when it's a silent clip. If you ever see me and it just looks like I'm constantly just yapping away or something, I want you to know on the other side, it's me literally just going. It's just that. It's just that. It's just that over and over and over. Tits on one button. Tits on one button. Ear noises. Clip it, chat. Clip the voices. The voices. What are the voices? Oh, geez. They'll remember the pop redeem. There did used to be a pop redeem. Oh, there goes the hype train. And there's less than 30 seconds till the ad break, which means we'll have to sit through the ad break. What is that? Who's this diva emotes? Wow. Wow. Diva in my household? I think not. Wait. Oh, wow. But, I don't know if there's any news, because...
There's our man! There's our boy!
Oh, you've seen the treasure train? Wait, what's treasure train? Treasure train? I know about the... In their bag. Wait, that's a good emote. I hadn't seen that emote. The in their bag is a very good emote. What's a treasure train? I know the Is the treasure train the discount one that I was talking about before? I thought it had a different name. Treasure. What? Level? Yeah. Okay, 35% discount. Yeah, so that was the treasure train. That's what I thought it was. It won't tell you if it's a treasure train until you hit level 5, right? We don't hit level 5 that often, so it's going to be really hard to tell. Oh, it will? It will tell you beforehand? Oh. Ooh, okay. I have yet to see it. We've had a golden kappa here before, but it's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a golden kappa. Our hype trains are, what's the word? Relatively infrequent. Well, not since the new model. They've been a lot more frequent since the new model. But for now, this is the only emote you can get. Oh, there's only one emote for the treasure train. Huh. Ads, and there's 9 of them. I'm sorry. How would you fit 9 ads in? I mean, there have to be like a couple like 15-second ads. It says something like rare treasure train started, get the level. Oh, okay. We need more hype trains, 41 subs for Hello Kitty, Kofi today for goals and moving. Yep. The sooner that shit is paid for, the faster we get to move. Which is why I'm still half thinking about selling my car. I'm gonna sell it regardless before I move. The question is, do I sell it now and lose all of my gym trips? The ones for level 100, 106, and 111? Wait, what? Wait. What do you mean? Aren't those the records? Hold on, what is the world record? Twitch hype train record. Oh, by Vidal's Neurosama at 111. The previous one was 106 by Pirate Software. Hi, Fairbanks. We need it for Carnival Lounge Nights. It's our outdoor lounge nights. Listen, eventually we'll get around to doing the lounge theme, and I'll get a depiction for y'all of what the lounge looks like. I promise. Listen, that's probably a couple years away based on how long this one took and how long it's probably going to take for the summer outfit. YouTube would not stop recommending me their content. It was awful. I could not care less about Neurosama. I don't care how interesting or bougie having an AI VTuber is. I don't think they should have gotten popular for that. The Clownge. The Clown Lounge. Oh no, not the Clownge. Don't make the Marin sell the clown car. I know, but it's like, I also have family breathing down my neck because they want me gone. They want me gone, but they don't want me gone too far. So at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, they probably want this to fall through. So, you know, as you do. Finally done with the 9 ads. Welcome back from the ad break, guys. I'm sorry about that. I forgot that it's set to like auto snooze whenever there's a hype train. I forget where I need to go turn that off. That's probably under like, oh, I don't know where it would be. I hate Twitch Mobile. I'm back. Twitch crashed 3 times. How did it crash 3 times in a row? Jesus. I will apply sticks to their corporeal form. Is applying sticks like gluing sticks to them or inserting sticks? Pointing in first. What's the plan here? Pointy sticks. Twitch Mobile sucks shit. I know it does. And that tends to be the case, annoyingly, with like most fucking video viewing. Like, I use YouTube sometimes when I'm at the gym because, frankly, there's like actual plays that I want to listen to that are only on YouTube and not on like Spotify or something. So I use YouTube and it fucking sucks because sometimes, oh, there was a video I was watching yesterday on my phone. It was a long video, but it felt like I was getting an ad break every fucking 5 minutes. And I hated it so goddamn much. That's also right now, I still have to have the ad blocker disabled on YouTube. at least till there's like a big update for it. And I am so tired of fucking ads. I hate it so goddamn much. Some of the ads, like I will even like specifically take it and I'll go and like click block and stuff and like show less of. For fuck's sake, the number of Manscaped fucking ads that I see, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna buy your shitty ass product. I don't care how you try to market to me. My guy always hated shaving. I always hated shaving. Shut the fuck up, dude. Get a straight razor. Stop being a coward. Yes, it's the advancing settings in the ad panel of the creator dashboard labeled auto snooze ads. Yep. Pay for YouTube Premium specifically for no ads and downloadable videos. For mobile, you've been tubing. Use the pipe ad instead. Wait, what? I have no idea what that is. Uninstall the shaving add-on, remove a hair entirely, get out the laser. Get out the laser. Hi, Ember. What are we yelling at? What are we screaming about? Okay. I tried using the normal YouTube app while working outside once after they killed Vanced? And it was straight up unusable. What is Vanced? I don't know what Vanced is. It's Monday, it releases the Inner Screams Day. It feels like releasing the Inner Screams Day. App not ad. I fucked up. Pipe is a YouTube alternative. I don't know how I feel about that. Does it know all the cool third-party things? No, I don't. There's a lot of the times when it comes to things like that, there's too much third-party. Too fucking much third-party. Also, hold on. There we go. I keep getting these pop-ups for things that I'm just tired of seeing because people keep fucking reposting them. And I'm just like, fuck it, mute. Does mute work that way? If I mute something and somebody quote tweets it, will I not see it? I won't see it, right? That's how that works, right? Be the third party you want to see. Well, let me tell you about hit platform Blue Sky. Hey, I use Blue Sky. I already use Blue Sky. Does that count as a third party? Does that count as a third party at this point? Or is it just another social media app? Point, Blue Sky user. Also, Val Scepter, thank you for renewing your season. Oh my god, a year. 1 whole year? Remember that you're cute? Denied. Absolutely unacceptable. No. Anything outside the app you're using is technically third party? Well, I guess technically if it's like, if you're viewing YouTube through not the YouTube app, yeah, that's third party. But Blue Sky is its own program. It's not like it's like a Twitter third party program or something. It is built on the AT protocol. There's a ton of apps built on that, like Gray Sky, Skyfeed, etc. Blue Sky is just another social media app. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it counted as another social media app and it wasn't like third party to anything. Maybe if you used one of the other programs that like let you access Blue Sky, but with like a different interface or different features or something, then that would be third party. You okay, Ordain? Why are you having brain freeze? My brain freeze. But, chat. I didn't know TwitchCon did meet and greet requests. Oh, this is this, I think this is EU only. I think this is meet and greets, request meet and greets at TwitchCon EU. Interesting. But when I click it, it wants me to download an app. Oh my god, there's a TwitchCon app. Oh, why did they do this? Oh, why did they do this? Why did they make a TwitchCon app? Oh, it looks atrocious. It looks like an HTML website. Hold on, chat. Hold on. We're going to the screen. Give me a second. Give me a second. We need the screen. Because this is atrocious. Okay. Let me get this up for y'all. Fair warning, this is a white background. It's gonna blind you. Yikes. Yikes. Why does this just look like the default Ticketmaster app? Like, I guess purple, lavender, lavender. Why does there have to be an app for everything? Like, I can understand if it's like, sometimes when I go flying, I will literally just download the airline's app for the flight and then uninstall it once my flight and traveling is over. Bonkers looked amazing in this new mod. Oh wait, I missed it. I missed it. By the Pope! Still doing this? Yeah, 25 stream streak. Hi, Hectic. Burn it, don't let the con app. Like, look at this. It's fucking I can't even. Can I zoom in? No, it literally won't zoom in. But, like, why? Why? TwitchCon feed, TwitchCon quest, meet and greets, new era of crowd play gaming. Okay. Okay, I guess. I don't like it. But yeah, I was just looking at this because TwitchCon posted this today. But I thought, hold on, is it? TwitchCon EU 2025. Rotterdam 2025 date. Wait. You have until the 26th of May and it starts the 31st of May. That's that gives 5 days. 5 days depending on if it's an in-person meet and greet or not. So does that mean that the people have to already be present? Or if like somebody who wasn't planning on coming to EU TwitchCon gets requested a whole bunch, is Twitch gonna fly them out there on 5 days notice? Less than 5 days, probably. They want results. They don't care about how they get them. Before it was like, sorry, sir, we can't let you in. TwitchCons are known for being well run. I've never been to TwitchCon, so I don't know. Go into No. They have their own special one. Don't you understand? They had to give them their own special one in Rotterdam. I don't know any of these people in these pictures. I ain't got a clue. Ain't got a clue. Anywho's it's. I saw this and was like, oh, that's interesting. And I didn't realize that it was because, like, see, it tells you which app you need to download. You select like which fucking thing. Oh my god, it's so white. Why is it so white? Stop making white background websites. What in this supervillain island? Is it? I don't think it's an island. I don't know where Rotterdam is for sure. Is it the Netherlands? Hi, Garuda. How are you doing? Was known for being well run. No. Flashbang! My eyes! My eyes! Okay, I was right. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure all previously, yeah, I was gonna say, I think previously all TwitchCons have been in the Netherlands, so. Listen, my ass would get there and then I would just ride around on the trains. I'm buying a train pass. We're just going on the trains. I'd be all over the place, just everywhere. Fuck that. Amusement ride. Amusement ride. All right, let's get this out of here. We can go back to the desk chat. Okay. This website needs an unmutable looping MIDI background music. Oh. Don't you put that curse on me. Don't you put that curse on me. But it also seems like they've already picked a bunch of people for meet and greets, I guess. I suppose. I don't understand. I don't get it. Also, since I haven't been around, you're so pretty. How could you? Just trying to fill out the spots, I suppose. Maybe. I don't know how big of like a space that they allocate for things like meet and greets. Does anybody know? Carnival train tour? Whee! That's what it would be. Y'all would like help me fund TwitchCon like almost every other streamer does. I'd get there and then all you would get is videos of me riding trains. Meet and greets, more like Schmeed and beats. I don't think I'll ever do it in person. Balasetra, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Hey, just Honeybee's got one. Hell yeah. And Grunkle. Holy shit. But wait, that's your buy, TwitchCon becoming unpopular. Cons becoming unpopular because people are lasing out and the cost of a convention just keeps going up. Who would have thought? Hi, Bard. Cookie. Where the train streams? Someday we will be able to do spooky travel vlogs. I promise, chat. Don't mind me just putting my Discord back together. Ew. Kaya! Holy shit, wait, I had your stream open. How is Expedition 33? How was Expedition 33, Miss Ma'am? Did you have a good time? I saw you putzing around in the desert. What? Are you talking about these feet? Are you talking about these feet? Are these the feet you were talking about? This is our issue today. Yo, for free! But welcome in, Raiders. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Martin. I'm the ringleader of the Dark Carnival. I typically play games that are dark, spooky, terrifying, or just whatever my little inclinations like to get into, whether it's TTRPGs, regular RPGs, or murder. Anyway, if you happen to like any of those things or just the sweet sound of my voice, feel free to grab a seat, drop a follow, and enjoy the show. We are also making the slow crawl towards partner, and every little bit does help. So if you want to hang out, it is always greatly appreciated. Now, focus up, baby. All right, now this is VTubing. Schmoiter. Oh my goodness, Schmoiter. I like Schmoiter. But welcome in. I hope you had a good time, Kai. I hope you were playing for a long time because I woke up this morning and I was like, who am I going to leave on when I go to the gym? And I was like, you were the first one on. Akami was on, so I left you two on. Went to the gym, had to run an errand to pick up some medicine supplies. And then I came home and you were still going. And now you just raided me and I had to go close the tab because I still had it open in the background. They'd get polished at least, the boots? My boots are well polished, baby. Well polished. I don't know, though. That's probably fine. It's probably fine. Under the desk polishing. Oh, my God. Hi, Fox. Thank you. I love this model. I have some issues here or there, but it's mainly because, like, I think I overthought the model. I was overexcited and over gung-ho for a lot of it. And a lot of what I wanted had to be thrown. And now I got to do fucking squats. All right, let's do this. This model doesn't move a whole lot when I do squats, so it's kind of hard to tell, but fuck it, let's do it. You're making me do this on my leg day, too. I hate you, Ordain. How could you do this to me? Okay. This is 20 squads. Oh, Jesus. Do we have 20 squads in chat? Overthought models are the best models? Well, it sucks when you overthink a model, get the art for it, and then the rigger can't do anything with it. Like, the extra arms are supposed to do with tons of other stuff. They're supposed to be able to do tons of other things. They do nothing. They literally do nothing except appear and disappear. I can still flip y'all off for being little shitters. All right, hold on, let's do these squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mad frick. 9, 10. Yes, go catch up with the wife. Have a good night. You streamed a long time. Thank you so much for the raid. Where was I at? 9, 10. I know it was at 9. Well, fuck it. We'll start at 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Come here. Oakley dokley. Oakley dokley. Still mad the frick had to be censored? It's fine. Listen, Twitch is also technically a family-friendly platform at all times, and emotes are available all across the platform. So you have to understand that emotes, while your stream may not be family-friendly, your emotes have to be. They're censoring our swears. My freedom of speech. Oh my goodness, they're taking away my freedom of speech. I can't say frick no more. Damn, frick you, dude. That's stupid. Oh my goodness. They're censoring our swears. There's no, my freedoms. Hold on. Why do I have, oh, it's barred. Okay. Okay. Nah. Nah. Family friendly? Listen, people get away with shit all the time. And technically, that honky tonk is completely clothed. That other one, I can't tell what it is. Are those shorts? Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are shorts. While in their weird little way, those are definitely sexualizing emotes, they're technically safe for work. That one, on the other hand, that thick one, Finzy's thick one, is technically against TOS, and it's probably just because nobody's reported it. Oh, it's to Nana's butt. Oh, no. Again, technically fully clothed. Technically fully clothed. Bending it to hell and back, true. And it's usually people get away with it because Twitch doesn't keep an eye on everyone. It's usually when things get like reported or when things go like under review or things. So you can get away with a lot of stuff for a while. Which again is always stupid when I hear people start bitching about like, oh, but so-and-so did this thing. Why did I get the ban? Because you were the one that was caught. That's it. That's the only reason. You're the one that was caught. I mean, sure, you can try and point the finger at the other person and Twitch may do something about it, but like, you're still the one who did it blatantly, got caught, and is now crying about it. Stupid. Stupid. Selective moderation. It's not always selective moderation. It depends again on, like, you can get away with things for a certain amount of time. Emotes is like, speeding, everyone's over the limit, but only a few can get a ticket. True. It's like driving in the US. Everybody's speeding, but only so many are speeding, obviously, to the point where they're the ones that get pulled over. What do you mean? Are you saying butts are sexual? Are we banning butts? I'm gonna say the hip sway emotes and the emotes called like thick or booty or honky tonk, their objective is inherently sexual. Like, it is entirely emote focused around a technically erogenous zone, or at least sexually charged area. Okay, that one's just comedy. The duck one is just comedy. A problem when they get catched for something and you point the finger to the correct means, they don't do it for them. The thing is, they don't often see, because, okay, so you end up, let's say you do something bad on Twitch and you catch like a suspension for it, you catch like a 3-day suspension for it. That person then goes to Twitter to spend those 3 days bitching, complaining. Do you think Twitch is going to see that? Fuck no, they don't care. The only thing that they care is if the person tries to ban evade by like going back on their platform. You can bitch and complain all you want on Twitter. Twitch does not give a shit enough about you to watch somebody's fucking Twitter feed. Even if Twitch like follows a big name streamer, I almost bet whoever's maintaining that Twitch account does not watch them. This was seen as sexual, like it got banned like once before. Like, cause like the dumpies, like my dumpiest, that's a comedy thing because the thing doesn't look like a person. It doesn't actually look like a person's butt. It's just like implied booty. That's why through correct means. Exactly. You think it's money? No, forgot then. Even then, I'm pretty sure Twitch is been in the negative continuously for a while. Like, yeah, I can understand like certain streamers and stuff get away with a lot more things because they bring in a certain amount of revenue. And it is annoying. It is extremely annoying. But people are always like, well, why do they get away with it? Well, they don't. That's the thing. They fucking don't. It's mainly because these people are, what's the word? not like line sitters, but people who just almost don't care, but know that they're almost always going to get away with it because of their sheer volume. So they get punished. They'll catch the suspension. They'll catch the ban. Hi, Zacher. And then they'll come back. I know some exceptions to that. They're not monitoring their Twitter thing, but those people are personal friends with Twitch staff members. It could be. Maybe. It is possible. It is possible certain people are acquainted with staff, but you never know. Can operate just because of Amazon? Yep. What's this gonna be on Twitch now? Nothing new. Really, nothing new. Twitch doesn't listen to you. It's just the way it is. Exactly. Twitch is as Twitch does, and you typically have to play within the rules. And when you break the rules, it's your own fault. If I catch a suspension or a ban under what's the word? DOS attacks? Not DOS attacks. Like hate raids and stuff. Like if I get hate raided and they all like report me or something and I catch a ban for that, of course I'm gonna bitch. Of course I'm gonna file against that. But if it's like, oh, you're in trouble for like indecent exposure because like there's no layers for this, but like my titties pop out of the shirt or something. I'll be like, yeah, that's my fault. My bad, dude. My bad. What remix of Bad Guys is this? Conquer Divide. Bad Guy by Conquer Divide. Twitch is operating at a loss, so I'm pretty sure Amazon can write it off as a tax write-off. Maybe? Maybe. I don't know for sure. Anyway, this song is not on my playlist. This is one of those like random ones. Ooh, Killer Clowns updates. Ooh. Anyway. I don't have anything in terms of news though, you guys. I don't have anything for news today. My weekend was relatively uneventful besides going to bed early as shit yesterday because I just had like one of those nights where it's like, I don't have anything to do. I'm bored. I'm going to bed. And I was like, I climbed into bed at like 8:40. And then I think I fell asleep like close to 9, maybe just after 9. At least when I annoyed YouTube for over a year about a saved playlist button for shorts, they actually added it. I annoyed Twitch and they do nothing except they did fix an obscured link bug once. So, hey, listen, it's fine. Like, and the higher quality you stream, the more money Twitch loses. That's true because it's even funnier. I'm part of. I haven't used it because it requires like an experimental version of OBS to use. But I'm part of the Discord and the group that technically has access to some of the what is it called? Multi-resolution streaming apparatus, which means that like technically via that program, I would be able to stream multiple resolutions at the same time without like it affecting my what was that? Hi Lambs, welcome in. My like my CPU or my GPU, my load on my PC. But I'm kind of scared to use it because like I said, it comes with its own experimental OBS and I'm like, I don't want to like lose all my plugins and stuff, and it's just kind of no thank you. I'm in the Discord still though, and I do have the rights to it. I could use it, but I'm very, very, very suspicious. I'll use it when it becomes like a full-blown OBS feature or something, because right now it's been what was it? It's been in like the beta. It's been in like its beta course for... Hi, Atlas. It's been its beta course for like... Son of a bitch. Over a year? At least over a year. Well, thank you, Lambs. Also, I'm sorry I've been missing the follows, you guys. Hydro J and Lambs, thank you both for the follows. Welcome in. Enjoy the show. But we're mostly just yapping away right now. We'll get into the game in about 25-ish minutes. 25-ish minutes, I think. But I'm looking around to see if... Oh. Okay, that's definitely VR chat. Hold on. Okay, I was looking to see if there's anything else. Trying to figure out what I was looking at for a second. I was confused. It was somebody bent over in their 3D like VR chat model, and it just my brain was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm so confused. Oh well. Oh well. Night's gone. Anyway, I'll be lurking doing art. Ooh, have fun. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Can I borrow viewers to help me finish packing? What? You need extra hands for packing? God, tell me about it. I hate packing. I hate moving. I hate moving. That shit's stressful. That shit do be stressful. But oh. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why I keep looking at these things because I hate these things. Interesting. Yes, hi, hello. How can I help you? I'm moving to the US soon for family reasons. Lambs? Lambs? Where are you moving from? Where are you moving from? This is important. You shouldn't do that. You should not do that. Save yourself and do not, in fact, do that. If I ever get a Snickers and it doesn't have it, oh, damn it, stop it with my fucking quote 1000. You will be remembered. Not remembered. Why did the Ko-fi link come up? Oh, there it is. Ordained way up there, said Ko-fi. Okay. I was just very confused momentarily. Okay. Slow today not had their I don't think it's Ko-fi. I think that one is, well, no, that one actually would be Ko-fi. I was gonna say it could be mixed it up because it was doing like other commands first. Maybe it was kind of doing its little like slow buffering thing. Okay. Oh, I hate everything about this design. Ugh. Ugh. Why it's so high up there? Okay, never mind. Can't show that. Can't show that. That's a hard no. Haven't done the Ko-fi mixed it up integration thingy. Oh, no, I haven't. You sent it to me, didn't you? You sent me how to do it? I don't remember. Where is it? Where is it? Was it a while back? No, that's the Blue Sky thing. We'll figure it out another time. No, but you can Google it? Okay, I'll Google it sometime. I'll Google it at some point. And I moved from Canada. It's not much better. I mean, it's not much better right now, but I'm telling you, it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get so much worse. Lambs. Lambs. I promise you, you don't know what you're giving up moving from Canada to the US. I just like blue sky things. I know you like blue sky things. I know you're a little tech nerd, but you're my little tech nerd. Adorable. Adorable. Anyway, but, why is fish trending? Chat, why do you think fish is trending? Just the word fish. Oh. know why. At least I have an idea of why. To about half of these posts. It looks like Gura's old account is back. Yep. Yep, Saba is back. So if anybody was a fan of Galgora, I'll just post this here. No. Yeah, this is apparently people suspect that this is Gura. It could be. I think it is. I'm gonna guess it is. There's also, I don't know who figured this out at first because there's no like obvious giveaway, but there's so many other large VTubers in here with like eyes or fish emotes or other shit. I guess leaderboard winners for fish. We can't without the fish. Fish game isn't open. That's what I was forgetting. Yeah, I'm gonna need to add the fish game and V-Bridger to my one button macro. The thing is, I have to open VTS first, because if I hit the button and they're all on the same thing and all those programs try to open at once, they don't try to connect properly. Like VTS will not connect to them, or they won't connect to VTS. Oh. Okay. Oh, keep scrolling. Cool. Not gonna talk about that. Not gonna talk about that. Nope. Hasn't it not been open since 2.0? Yeah. Yeah. Should I put it on the interface? Do y'all want it on the interface? I can. Or has there been fish and it's been hidden? Were you hiding out, Fimsh? I wasn't hiding, I promise. I wasn't hiding. It's the thing is, I don't know where to put it without it seeming cluttered right now. Maybe we can start using it for like, I almost wanted to give it its own interface at one point where, like, you know how I have the screen for the other thing? I could resize that and reshape it and make it into like anytime y'all do fish, it'll like come down. It'll do the fish animation. Someone win leaderboard for a new VIP. We need to change in the carnival. I can't win it for change. Let me see who is in it. Leaderboard. Harness. Harness is the current #1. All right. Were you hiding our themes? I'm sorry. I was apparently hiding the themes. I don't know if I want to play out. There hasn't induced change because they're already VIP. Is Harness been the one who's been VIP for like, what is it, 6 months now? Something like that. Nearly 1.5 years. Holy shit, Wrath. Almost 1 month away from that 1.5 years. How are you doing, bud? But yeah, there's nothing worth looking at in news. I do not even want to know why Venezuelans are trending. Do I want to know? Do I want to know? Oh boy, new tax bill passes the House. I'm sure that tax bill is going to be good. I'm sure it'll be great for anybody below the highest class. Pain. Oh shit, it got through the House. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah. But Other than that, I'm not really seeing. Hey, Russian Badger had a kid. Oh shit. Yesterday. He's just a scrunkle little potato. The US sounds like a nightmare. It is exactly. It is exactly a nightmare. Yeah, I remember he made the joke whenever was it? I think it was like, was it Doom Dark Ages made like an announcement on what the day that they were going to launch, and then he was like, no, it wasn't that. It was GTA. It was GTA next year, like around this time. But he was like, that's what my sons do, and because he didn't realize that it was the year after, which was very funny. I was like, wait, that's more than a year away. How do you know that? Yeah, Russian Badger's a dad now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's impressive. And curious. Can you imagine that kid going to school and being like, my dad's Russian Badger? Oh no, he's either gonna be the coolest kid in school or he's gonna get bullied. Oh no. Badger, now a dadger? Oh no, you can't go making that joke. Your fiance is coming home with food? Ooh. Did you bring enough to share? Are you going to share? Be honest. Be honest. I'm required to know. Hashtag Dadger. Oh my god. I'm surprised one of his buddies didn't start like making that for shits and giggles. On when or what? Oh. Okay. Arson. Arson for free. For free. Oh goodness. Sorry, I had a hiccup. I don't know if that even picked up on stream, but I hiccuped and it kind of hurt. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna find anything else to talk about. Question mark? Question mark? Okay, makes sense. Thank you for self-care. I have the remains of my gamer subs that I took to the gym. That'll do. I'm sure that'll do. Free? So then what have I been paying for with my business card, huh? Wait, which thing did I say was free? I already forgot what I said for free. Arson? Arson's almost always free. Well, except for supplies. I mean, hopefully it's not like that one guy who like said like that one serial arsonist that ended up being like a fire safety officer. I mean, I don't think we want to talk about that, do we? I mean, he apparently used to make improvised incendiary devices, delayed incendiary devices that were basically like a cigarette, some twine, and like a piece of paper. And the goal was that the cigarette would burn down until it would set the twine ablaze that would then burn its way to the paper, which would then set a larger fire that would then set the things around it on fire, giving it about, I think it was like 8 minutes, like an 8-minute timer basically to burn a building down. But watch out for scuffed art. If you found a comic that it was drawing for you. No, I completely forgot what the dialogue was. Oh. Also, hold on a second, chat. I need to go get some lotion. The patch on my knuckle is like hurts. It's like dried up and it kind of hurts. So give me just a second. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to go schlump. So give me just a second. Okay. Sorry about that, chat. I had to get it because I honestly don't know what it's from, but there's just like this almost like scar tissue looking section on one of my knuckles that's like dried up. And if I don't like moisturize it, it hurts like a bitch. Years ago, I took like, what do you call it? If anybody knows what like the foot grinders are, they're like little like diamond drills that you like put on your feet. I've used that against it before and that got rid of it for a while. I just don't know what's causing it. Your knuckle hurts, stop punching people or yourself for that matter. I don't punch myself. How could you? I'm better than that. Foot grinder, they were gay feet. I mean, technically, but that's not what that means. That is not what that means. It's more of the It's more of the just like the ones that like spin. I have one of those little grinder things. It originally came with like an epiletter kit, and I realized epiletting is not fucking worth the pain. Did you know scurvy reopens scar tissue? What? Like in your mouth? I mean, I guess that makes sense because usually it makes your gums shrink. What's epiletting? It's essentially a little machine that instead of it's like an electric machine that instead of like shaving hairs, it pulls the hairs out. It's painful. It's very painful. I wanted to try it because it's like one of the longer ways to like reduce hair in areas, and it sucks. It sucks so bad. What is scurvy? You don't know what scurvy is? Scurvy is effectively a like gum / mouth disease that essentially causes the gums to pull back to the point where they start bleeding, exposing the nerves and the like roots of the teeth. It was primarily common more so in like the 1700s and such, when people would be at sea for prolonged periods of time, which is why it's often tied to pirates. However, it is such an easy disease to cure that even though it's gonna suck like a bitch, literally just eating a single orange will save you from scurvy. You need to not get scurvy. You're not a pirate. I mean, at least I get enough vitamin C. Pirate go rounds? Oh no, do y'all want the... Whenever I pitch the, like, what is it? The what if ideas? Do y'all really want the what if ideas? Is that what you want? Is that it? Is that the deal? I got my vitamin tablets. Yeah, but are you having your Flintstones vitamins? With 23 vitamins. What if Marin Multiverse? I mean, wouldn't be too hard. Wouldn't even need the multiverse. It could technically just be like different roles around the carnival. We do have the aquatics department. And I mentioned a long time ago that we have a, oh, what was it? We had the, what if Attack of the 50-Foot Marin? I would kill for art like that. I pitched it to Claude. I pitched it to Claude before. I know we did one of Radia. 7 hearts, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Are the alerts not going off? Did I miss the ticket? Hello? Hold on. Hold on. Have the alerts not been going off? What is it under again? Events? Yes. We'll test follow. Hello? Raid? Why are none of these going off? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Mix it up alerts. Turn off. Open. Refresh cache. Turn on. Huh. Have left the carnival? Apparently. We'll see what happens with the next one. We'll see if they come around. So I refreshed the cache. Wait, did I? Hold on. Let me make sure I did actually. I don't remember if I okay, I did reactivate them. Couldn't remember if I did. Thank you so much for bringing your Wait. Oh, that was the raid. That was me testing the raid thing because that's also part of the event. So that makes sense. Shut up. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. If no one is hearing, is it a silent murder or a death tone? Death tone. I can't draw cool like Claude though, so my art is scuffed until I get better. Aww. What's the food? What's the food? This is important. We need to know. Everyone must know. Hi, Necro. Blah, blah, blah. The T threw me off. Nectrotic. Nectrotic. Plague snack. Plague snack. Cute. Blue Sky's live indicators going into wider testing for select YouTube and Twitch live streamers. Ooh. Wait, you can stream on Blue Sky? Blah, blah, blah. I do not go blah, blah, blah. Schmello narcotics. Narcotics. He brought McDonald's? Never mind. For shame. For shame. No McDonald's here. There's this whole thing. It was itching until I just stopped following it. Until I stopped following. Which part? The live thing? You can stream on Blue Sky. I need my Baron live notification on there. Oh, good lord. Listen, I don't know how it works. I have no idea how to stream on Blue Sky. Not a fucking clue. No? Wait, Ordain, where are you going? Creature department is mine now? No, the fuck it ain't. The fuck you on about? You don't know how to maintain anything. Well, besides cars. But that's not going to work over there. Animals over there are only part machine. And that's only like a handful of them. Most of them are zombies. I like my New York pizza nuggets better. New York pizza nuggets. Mo Women will stream on every platform. I don't know. I really don't. I ain't got a clue. There was another group we were trying it out with, a few people, and it was interesting. That's why I like the mainstreaming on things like Blue Sky so much. So many cool unintended side effects. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I've never noticed a thing for it before. Just streaming radio and brainwaves. I'm gonna be streamed directly to your mind. Remember to get your Dark Carnival implant today. Dark Carnival Incorporated. We care about you. And it's totally not because we want your meat. Anyway, someone needs to keep the mechanical things running. We have an engineering department. Okay, maybe the head engineer is only like 5'2", but he's trying his best, okay? He's trying his best. Like, and he may be made out of porcelain, but that's besides the point. Like using labelers and moderation tools for self badges. Also, yeah, if you don't leave the app and explore third-party options. The thing is, I want to do stuff on YouTube, but I don't know if I want to put my streams on YouTube. If I want to just like upload VODs. Well, wait, didn't I make a VOD channel? Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on. I feel like I made a VOD channel like months ago. Switch accounts. View all channels. Oh my god, I did. I did make a VOD channel. I've never uploaded anything to it. Wow. Wow. The guns we see behind are just big lighters. No, they're not. They're just not loaded. Don't worry about where the ammo is. Don't worry about it. Oh man, I got a hangnail. Shut the fuck up, Stitch Fix! Apparently, no matter how much I block Stitch Fix, fix as an advertiser, it will always show up. Always. What do you mean it's up your ass? Hold on, I'm turning on ad blocker again, because fuck it. Are we getting loaded? What? Pronouns label or Snoska, where they use the badge features of labelers as well, pronouns and Sona species, and even refs, because Sona Sky made Sona Sky refs, so you can store/show off your characters from inside your own account. Okay, they're working again. Badgerborg, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Furries have gone too far. Furries have gone too far. And I hate it. But you gotta respect my Sona. No, I don't. I will respect pronouns. I will not respect species of Sona. This is not a furry stream. Me shaking so the ammo gets clean and we can get more black powder inside the capsules. What do you mean? What do you mean, Sunstar? Are you admitting to something? I knew that profile picture was suspect. I knew it. You gotta respect these nuts. No. Listen, if this was a furry stream and the expectation had like, if my entire content of my stream had an overlapping with like furry stuff, fine. That's totally fine. I am not going to download the extension though. That's like, here, do you want to see what your chatter's furry Sona is? No, I don't. Sheep go around showing off that they're a sheep by having the sheep label in their profile. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? I would prefer the anonymity if I was into being a furry or some shit. If I was into something that essentially required me to wear a costume that made me unrecognizable to who I was every day, wouldn't want that tied to me regularly. Would not. Is the sheep? Oh, shit. It's not an extension, it's just subscribing to the labeler in-app like every other labeler? No. Oh, I lagged there for a second. I'm lagging a little bit. Uh-oh. Sounds like she has a secret persona. I can't afford a fucking persona, my dude. Let alone do I care to have one. I'm already in too many subcultures anyway. Why would I go to being a furry? Highly trained bird with a stolen computer and use my beak to type? Just straight up a bird. Just straight up a crow. No, this sounds like the average Twitch chatter. That you don't have to, but it's the concept. They're being really anti-furry. I can't believe it. Furries can do what furries want, especially because they run the IT department. It could probably take my stream down anytime they want. Thanatos VTuber, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Methinks thou protest too much. I'm only teasing, I promise. Methinks thou protest too much. I'm glad we didn't see that. Wait, what'd you do? We just put the cyanide. Really hating on sheep go around? Listen, it's for the meme. That is not a fursona. That is just a goofy little character that we have to play in the Hello Kitty game that y'all want me to play for some reason. That reads, the gays can do whatever they want. Wait, where is this on sale? Okay, sorry. I needed a drink of water. We're also like almost 10 seconds away from the ad break. So actually, we're going to do something right now. And I was going to set up words on stream, but I think instead what we're going to do is I'm going to make some adjustments really quick. We need the screen one, and I need to move over. And then what I'm going to do, so I'm going to add, I believe, game capture, fishing game. And then I'm going to put this right there. There it is. Don't worry, I'm going to change the shape of it in just a second. Where is... I could have sworn there was just like a one button thing that changed the shape. I guess I was wrong. Hold on, where is it? Am I blind? Halloween! I can force the Halloween details. Let's go. No, transparent's fine. Am I blind? Mixed up connection spotted? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure there is a mix it up thing, but I would have to do like something special for that. I don't have anything special that I would need to set up for it. But so not completely sure what the fish thing does, except to make it funny when it yells fish. No, it's... If you're the #1 person each month, you get a VIP in the Discord server, which is the same as having a tier 2 or tier 3 sub. I'm just... Am I blind? I think I'm blind. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that. Ordain's already in line, but I don't think it's I think it's just putting y'all in queue because I'm trying to go through the settings. Okay. But custom only mode, no. Where is it? Save and close. Where the fuck is it? 6 people in line. Unmute. Don't need to unmute. Don't want to change the weather. Figuring this out. I apparently am wearing the skin of you. I'm not wearing anybody's skin. Tap it. It ain't skin. Humans are animals. Also, we have fur. Technically, yes, that is true. Sunstar, do you know where it is? I can't find it. Am I blind? I could have swore it used to be like one of these buttons up here, or did they get rid of it? Did they just make like circle shape the default? Can I like not? You're wearing your own skin? Does it count as skin? Or is it just the is it just the epidermis? Who knows? Who knows? Sunstar's making fun of me. Why can't I find anything? Is man not but a beast by another name? Oh my god, bestie, so true. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Wait, what is that emote? Slam? Oh, okay. I see what's going on with that emote. Okay, I was confused by it for a second. It looked like somebody like grabbed their arm and then I was confused. That's silicone? Silicone, baby. Plastics. Oh, son of a bitch. Sunstar. Marriage still my macro and microplastics? Correct. Posted the shirt link in general in the Discord. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Christ. It's gonna give me shots. It's gonna give me shots. Oh, Okay. Do you ever not catch anything? No, but you can get like, you can get some pretty shitty stuff like boots and everything. Sometimes it can be funny, but we're already through the break. I just want to figure out why I can't like, why can't I shape it? Boots are good sources of protein. Are they? If they're indigestible, wouldn't they just be an extremely high source of undigestible fiber? Where is it? Subs. Send cache results to chat. To avoid clashing with any alerts you already have. Okay. Boost chances of ultra rare fish. Mods can use it. Yes. Mods are super users. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? Why is there no shape button anymore? I'm so upset. I'm so upset. Rackle frackle. Raggle fraggle. All right. All right. Time to go tuck it away. If you're still in the queue, it's going to go through the queue, so don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about that even a little bit. So we'll go back over here. Bum, bum, ba-dum. All right. They're putting lewds in the fishing pond? I think it's like the what was it? There's because one of the items is those like CO2 cartridges, which those technically also do count as drugs. Because sometimes people in the past used to huff those, and I don't think I've met an airsoft player that hasn't at least huffed one of their canisters once. Oh yeah, the bongs, the whippets, the CO2 canisters. A suspicious lamp. Yeah, the weird vase, that's what it was. I was like, a suspicious lamp? That doesn't sound right. Fucking can huffers. God, I was reminded, yesterday. It was yesterday. I was reminded of the galaxy gas situation. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody remember galaxy gas? I have no idea what it is like at its core, but I do remember the trend of apparently people getting fucking knocked off their ass on it. Whippets. Does this thing technically count as a whippet? No, that is Gas X. That's not galaxy gas. Oh, it's nitrous oxide. Oh, the Red Joker. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Enjoy the show. They use helium here for a while. It's flavored whippet, basically. It's being flavored is why it's so dangerous. Oh. Oh. Oh my God, you can buy it on Amazon. Oh my God, you can buy it on Amazon in 100 packs. Whipped cream chargers, mango flavored whipped cream chargers, cupcake flavored. Hold on. Galaxy Gas original flavor, blueberry flavor, tropical punch, watermelon, blue raspberry, mango smoothie, vanilla cupcake, and strawberry cream. Okay, yeah, it looks like the flavors just repeat regardless of like the size that they sell them in. Okay. Yeah, but nobody in their right goddamn mind. I've never known people to use like flavored CO2 for their Whippet canisters to make whipped cream. I've known people to use like fucking actual, like if they wanted a blueberry flavored whipped cream, they would mush the blueberries into a liquid and then pump it through the Whippet using regular CO2. Because these canisters get up to like 1 liter in size, it looks like. Like you would like flavored products. Oh my God, that reminds me. Apparently, I saw a post earlier today, and it was apparently doing very well. But, what was it? Gotta flavor the Barons? No. Oh, it's incredibly insidious ass marketing. 100%. 100%. But, but no, it was, I saw a guy that was like making a post that he made a joke post at first that it was like, he quote tweeted his own thing. It was like, man, it would be nice to be on the beach right now with beautiful women. Zen, which I think, hold on, let me double check. Yeah, Zen or Zine, whatever those things are, the things that you buy at a gas station that are literally just nicotine pouches, which is so fucking weird, dude. Halen Hayes, thank you for resubbing using Prime. Thank you for the Bezos bucks. How are you doing? You look badass. Well, thank you, Joker. I tried my best. Here, let me break out the, where is it? Where is it? Jacket. Yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Here, we can also break out the eyes. Hi, I'm here to hunt your nightmares. I will never understand people's appeal to literally just straight up nicotine pouches. I will also never understand the kind of people that like tie their personality to a specific brand. Yeah, I'm a Newport smoker. I am a clown. Well, I figure based on Joker. Just pump the tar right right there. Just like slam a fucking IV into your arm. Oh, okay. No, that was the other thing that just lit up. I got confused for a second. All right, guys. Are we? No. What? The Amazing World of Gumball is coming back? Not under a Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers subsidiary. Under Disney. The Amazing World of Gumball is coming back under Disney Plus and Hulu. Okay. The rat has the cat! Can't wait for Disney-sponsored live-action Gumball because you know they'll try. Well, I mean, it looks like it's still pretty faithful to the original because they've only released an animated trailer. But okay, I guess. I suppose. Question mark? Disney's going to buy out the carnival. Disney ain't gonna give me any money for my shit. I promise you. What? Does anybody know what like horror IPs does Disney own? Can I Google that? Don't say like Halloween Town. Disney horror IPs. Oh. Well, that wouldn't count like the Blood and Honey ones. Okay. Franchises that Disney technically owns. The Crow, all 4 films. Hellraiser, from Bloodline to Hellworld. Children of the Corn, from Urban Harvest to Revelations. Halloween, from Curse to Resurrection. From Dusk Till Dawn, all 3 films. The first 3 films of Scream, all 3 films of Mimic. All films of The Prophecy, The Facility. The first 4 films of Scary Movie. Dracula 2000, all 3 movies, Venom, Mindhunters, The Nameless, which is apparently a Spanish horror film, the Amityville Horror movie from 2005, specifically the 2005 one, the Newsroom on the Block, We Know What Happens. Wait, what? You think if I made a furry streamer that I would have a name like Sheep Go Round? It's not nearly as funny as being like a goofy merry go round. There we go. Can't not say my name apparently. Cursed, Darkness, They, The Others, Tale of the Mummy, Extends, Night Watch, Phantoms, Office Killer, Baby Blood, and The Evil Within. Is being silenced by the ringleader? What do you mean? Wait, Disney owns an American Werewolf in Paris? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The Sixth Sense? Give us Sheep Go Round? You'd have to pay for it. If y'all wanted Sheep Go Round, you would have to pay for it. Deep Rising, The Sixth Sense, Stay Alive, Primeval, The Invisible. Oh god, Dark Water. Fright Nights, Underwater, The Empty Man, The New Mutants, No Exit, Prey, Barbarian, Hellraiser from 2022, The Boogeyman, No One Will See You, these films, Ready or Not, The Night House, Antlers, Fresh, The Menu, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Watchers in the Woods, Something Wicked This Way Comes, both Hocus Pocus films if you want to count those, all of the Haunted Mansion films, including the Muppets ones, and Frankenweenie. Maybe Disney will try to allocate me. Where did you get all that gay sheep? I've done it once, I can do it again. Will you, Sunstar? Will you pay for Sheep Go Rounds? If y'all paid for it today, I would find somebody by the end of the night. Don't know how much it would cost for like... Actually, I know exactly who I would go to. Tommy, are you still here? I know exactly who I would go to for like a part sheep character. Rumble Tumble Gaming? What is Rumble Tumble Gaming? Disney would absolutely buy VTubers to throw them into that mess, either Kingdom Hearts or that Disney card game. Oh, Lorcana? I've never understood the appeal of Lorcana. I think it's because I always have like, I always really like, oh, what's it called? Like original characters. I think that's why I like MTG more when it's just original stuff than whenever they do like their crossover shits. The VTuber Kingdom Hearts world would be wild. I don't think Disney could ever do a Kingdom Hearts one. They could never do a Kingdom Hearts one because... Hold on a second. Okay, that's fine. They could never do a Kingdom Hearts one with VTubers, or at least with like the big VTubers, because the bigger VTubers that they would try to bring in are not family friendly. Like, it's just not like one of those things. First Steps getting Sheep Go Round as a joke. Oh God. No, I was going to say Mossy Artburger would be able to do a decent, like, part animal model. And we could give chat the bwomp bwomp, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. Chat, would you want more bwomp bwomp? More bwomp? More boing boing? I want Disney to do Tarzan live action and do like they did with The Little Mermaid. Just destroy a bunch of movies so they could get a tax write-off. Did they? I honestly don't know. What movies would they have... What, canceled? I don't know. Oh, got some of those sheep roll faster than others and it's so infuriating. Do they? Oh, they do. A lot of them are in sync, but not all of them, and that is actually really annoying. Baron's getting the spring shears? No. No. All right, chat. Give me just a second. I'm going to change the category. Oh, where is it? Dishonored. All right. Dishonored's on, but it's probably going to give us the same issue that we have all the time with it. So we're going to open it and we're not going to panic, okay? It's going to fuck up the graphics and I'm going to have to fix it. Now, nobody move. Everybody remain perfectly still. Shit's fucked. Okay. Now let me get to the menu and then we can fix the graphic error. I honestly have no idea what this looks like on y'all's end, because on my end, VTube Studio is now like halfway on one monitor and halfway on the other. And the game is currently open behind, or well, OBS is behind the game. And I have to wait till I can get into the game. Go change the fucking visual settings. 1920, 1080. Okay. Okay. Everything's blinking. Everything's blinking! Alright. Borderless full screen. Yes. Go to the other monitor. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now we can go to the game screen, chat. Now we can go to the game screen. Hi, how are you? And then let me get you. There it is. My big boy. The big boy. All right. No more music. Chat. We had just made it to, I believe it was the Dukes. We hadn't started the mission. We're like at the skiff, I think. But chaos.exe not working, apparently. But now we have to go do the non-lethal ghost run of the Duke's Island. Okay. Also, it is so weird to have Stilton here. I never knew that you could get Stilton. I never knew that that was possible. Okay. What did Ordain do? How fuck you, I cast mass panic? Why are y'all panicking? Promised irregularities and given normality? What do you mean? What normality? What irregularities did I promise? What? I'm confused. Gwebs Corvo Vitano? He's a statue right now. There's not much you can do about it. All right, let's go, Megan. And see, Megan has her eye on her arm.
Ready to visit the Duke?
I'm not regular anymore. I moved. I flinched. How could you? No flinchers here. All right, mods. Punch Corvo. Not, well, yeah, Corvo. She'd go around would know. God damn it. Listen, do I need to give y'all like curvy, wavy hair like I have IRL for the summer outfit? Is that what we need to do? Is that what I need to talk to Izzy about when we eventually get to the design?
If that helps. Maybe you can talk to him.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn up the volume in my ears. Let me know if y'all want the volume higher for y'all.
Shitty job.
Okay.
Pretending to be a tyrant like Duke Luca Abel.
It's remarkable that people.
I know she said Duke Luca, but my brain for a split second heard Duke Nuka.
And he's had your support from the capital. At the Duke's parties, people carve up the country while eating boiled crab.
There were parties like that in Dunwall, full of toadies sucking up to me, stabbing each other in the back.
Toadies.
Poor Empress. I could see those party lights from the roof of the abandoned butcher shop where I slept. In the flooded district.
Yes, the butcher shop that we know that's where you held Corvo.
I used to wander Dunwall with my face hidden. But when I got tired of it, I could always go back to the tower. Karnaka's given me perspective.
Good. After you've eliminated the Duke, find what he's holding for Delilah and take it. When you're finished, I'll pick you up in the skiff.
Okay. The fun thing too is the last mission we did, we had like no powers. And now we have all our powers back. Okay. 5. Okay. Wow, these are really far away.
Pushed out into the harsh world. You are alone, but for a few allies.
Too much chance a Grand Guard catches on to us, or maybe rightful owners coming to pick it up.
What's the delay getting it to the shop? Betty afraid we'll get caught?
The guy that runs the shop is nervous.
Okay, because I remember there was something useful with these guys, but I don't remember what it
My
was.
friend over at the shop.
Merwin, please help me, Moblin. What's wrong, Corvo? Can you not take your own punishments?
So there's basically no risk.
What's your friend's name?
That's a secret. These guys deal with me and nobody else. Job security.
We told them he could lance a boil as good as any barber.
What does Lance of Boil mean? Also, I gotta sneeze. Hold on a second, I think I know what it means. Lance of Boil, I think he means literally cut off a boil, because this is in the time period when surgeon barbers were a thing.
He gave the locket off her neck and threw it in the bay.
I swear we've heard that same one.
He has no more secrets.
Ah, son of a bitch. He only had the one.
If he has any other secrets, they are hidden from me.
I'll get the cigars tomorrow. Wanna buy one?
Okay.
Not this time.
Ooh. All right.
I told her it was the wrong kind of oil, but they don't want to listen to me. Next time, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Anyway. Give me your shit. Give me your shit. All right, now we gotta find your information on stuff. Oh. Okay. Now, I swear there's something relevant here. Okay, hold on. J. Mission clues. Dock worker. Smugglers are waiting at their boat to deliver contraband to a nearby black market shop. Their captain went ahead to arrange for the delivery. Okay, so then that means we have to find the captain. Maybe this is just a loot stash? I just don't remember. But... Hey, buddy. There's a guard right there. Well, damn, that didn't work out in my favor. I was hoping that window was going to be openable, but I was wrong.
No. You look like you can take care of yourself.
Okay. Do I really have to sneak?
Why does she want that apartment? Dust everywhere, no matter what you do.
Pay what you owe. Where did those guys go? Hello?
Help me if you can.
Sure, bud.
You're a good one. You know, there's a place near here, in some rocks behind
Oh?
a fountain. People have always left offerings there.
Behind the fountain, you say?
I started having those.
What do you mean you can't reach your feet?
I don't know.
His mother would take them out on picnics. Fresh bread, almond butter, and an apricot jam.
Oh.
Washed down with cold milk.
Sorcery, they said. They burned my books and they hit me in the head until there were no more visions.
Oh.
Already told you his secrets.
Oh. I should have never started checking that. Like the
I
other one.
used to live
Ooh,
here.
hold on.
See you sometime. See you sometime.
Okay, hold on. How do I get inside you? I'm guessing somewhere this way. Aha. I mean, how do I get inside you? Oh. Shut up. Shadow repose. Okay, hold on. What are you? Regain HP during shadow walk. Nah. Nah. Okay. Real quick, because I think we're... Oh, whalebone. Jesus. This guy has so much whalebone. Ruin. Oh.
I told him he was too skinny. Told him he wouldn't last a day.
Okay.
Poor kid. Why don't I
So, I have a plan. I have a plan. So this is Winslow. I'm gonna mark that. I'm going to need this turned on. Quick save because we haven't quick saved yet. And then
There's no such permit, Captain. I know the laws in Karnaca.
Laws change. The Duke's given the Grand Guard leeway to create new fees when needed. You know who else had a nice shop? That clockmaker.
Serafina, her shop burned down.
Yeah, my report said it was probably the Howlers. But no one knows how the fire started.
Captain, her brother died in that fire.
Asleep inside, drunk from what I remember. You've got until tomorrow to pay up.
you don't say, officer.
Hello there. You find yourself in the most reputable safe shop in Karnaca.
So there's an achievement I want to get, because apparently if I can steal from this place again, I get an achievement.
Something's gotta give.
Apartment seizure. Okay, come here. No, we're not going upstairs just yet. You are gonna go down here. Okay. So theoretically, apartment seizure. Authority of Duke Luca Bell. Due to an urgent security matter regarding buildings with balconies overlooking Ravina Boulevard and the newly installed Wall of Light, you are hereby required to grant us access to your apartment indefinitely. We ask that you keep a spare key at your shop so that Grand Guard personnel have access to your apartment at all times. This action is necessary to prevent miscreants from bypassing the Wall of Light checkpoint. As director of Winslow Safes, you will certainly understand our security concerns, and we trust there will be no questions or delay. Oh. I'm just double checking. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be another, like, challenge safe in here. Or maybe it's way back there. So we're gonna go upstairs. Oh, nope, not that way. It's not that one. Okay, no such luck. I can't walk, you broke my feet? Okay, so it just seems like this one doesn't have any... Oh, what's this? Gate code! You able to run a safe and vault business if you can't even remember a single 3-digit code. 666, okay. Can I... Okay, no, I'm full. Okay. We are gonna have to... Hey, buddy. You're shitting me?
Kinda dry.
Okay, okay.
Really go for a whiskey or something. Damn it. Maybe one of them 2-penny drinks.
See?
Yum.
I told you.
Okay. Gate must remain closed. The gate behind you after every delivery. If you need a wish, speak directly to Carlos Mileta. Okay. Which we already know the code is 66. They didn't change it much.
Open up. I got the code, but it's back on the surround. You cannot see me. I am here and not here when you call to me.
Nom nom nom.
You know I will do this. You're wasting time.
What y'all doing? Oh, I don't know the passcode? Forget the password either. Next time, dock your boat in a different place. You've started to attract unwanted attention. The Grand Guard has doubled their patrols since the Duke's last decree. All right. So now we have the boat key. Just double checking also for apartment access. Okay, hold on. Interesting. Ah. Okay. Somebody's pouch. Old Charmer's writing. Just to get that. Whalebone. Stolen journal of a known heretic seized before his execution. Okay. Give me your shit. Alright, where's my twink? I see you're playing Dishonored 2. What's the plan? High chaos? It is a low chaos ghost run.
Your own people, the palace born, and those who curry their favor.
Yeah, it is a low chaos ghost run. No killing, and never get caught.
Running a quarter of your empire? No. It never seemed to bother you before. Maybe it looks different up close.
I mean,
here it's hard
yeah.
to ignore the way the people outside the palace get through the day.
Yeah, I haven't done a low chaos of 2.
You're after. The heart you carry can only hold one spirit at a time. So, if you want to walk out with a piece of Delilah, you better be ready to leave something behind.
Ah, okay, I see. Okay, hold on. How many runes do we have right now? We have 3. Okay, we've already completely upgraded. Bend time. Again, we're not really Like, most of these aren't necessary. Possession, maybe. I don't want to do Doppelganger because I think Doppelganger will also technically count as getting, like, caught. Okay, so... Is there... Does anybody know if there's any reason to get... You know what? We're gonna go back to the boat. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Huh? But there
Daddy
was
what he wants.
Where did? Oh, am I going?
They'll never know. Okay. We're gonna go back to the boat because I feel like I don't remember if this is irrelevant in any way. Just drop down here. This may hurt. Okay, no, we're good. Yoink.
See you sometime.
Okay. Quick save. And then we can come take their ship. Hey, give me your shit. Oh!
Anybody?
Are you serious? I did not know that there was going to be people on the boat. Yeah, we quick saved right here. This is fine. This is fine. I guess they did it because the boat wasn't supposed to be parked there. Okay, let's do that again.
I'm bored.
I'm sure you are there, bud. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Okay, chat. Point and laugh. Point and laugh. Jumped on the wrong fucking one. I do have trank darts, but I have 2 trank darts. Fine. So be it. Give me your shit. Give me your shit. The door's open. Give me all your jellied fucking eels.
Let's see what this says.
This whole setup is a huge pain in the ass. Timing windows.
Hey, now I got more.
The tides, fake boat manifests, and private door codes. Might be easier just to play it straight. Pick up and deliver goods. Anyway, so I don't forget it. The code for the black market shop is Sir Conan wine is better than Tivian prison.
That's the thing that Jill kept saying before. So Conan wine is better than Tivian prisons. Yep. All right. All right. Listen, we got our shit. Dobby.
Between the flies and the filth, it's getting hard to breathe around here. People here are just
And we had
keen
gone.
on charity now that see you sometime.
Whew. Let me in. Let me in! Oh my god. Are you serious? I'm literally cranking W into it. Fine. Useless. Useless, useless, useless. I hate it. Okay. Taxes, 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 taxes.
Damn it.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Another quick save. And theoretically, we're good. Oh, I thought I heard a hissing sound. Oh no, I didn't want to do that.
Serkonan wine is better than Tivian prisons.
And better Crystolian clap than Morellian gout. All right. To think my father was the official milliner at the palace, and his father before him.
Oh, I
Happening now. What's going on here?
not exactly what I wanted to happen, but okay. Okay.
Are you coming tonight?
Well, damn. Hold on, does that count? Now we're good.
Wouldn't miss that.
Okay, hold on a second. Oh! Oh, hi, guys. Okay. Okay, bye. Whew.
Welcome. Please be at ease.
To think that
Our
this
establishment is
goofball
secure.
ran to get the fucking guards. No. Yeah, I still haven't gotten this at all, which kind of sucks. But technically,
A pleasure to do business.
full. Disable carriage rails. Ooh. Sold.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll take another one.
Deal well made.
Okay.
Perhaps I should close the shop until the dust settles.
Is it because of all the shit that I bought from you?
Sure.
The carnival taxes? Taxes! Yum. Okay. Oh! Whew. Almost missed that one.
Thinking of having a picnic soon. On the
Bosses beware. When we're screwed, we multiply.
Making a mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
Yes. What can I do for you? Yes, grins. Some howlers show up in this part if you rob all the black market shops and all other levels. Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay, I did not know that. Okay, so we're missing something too.
But for her, it was the principle of the matter.
I say, isn't that a howler?
They're all fools. And she may be right. She's been taking an extra cut for years.
For years, you say?
You cannot see. I am here and not here when you call to me.
Okay. Uh-oh. Kinda want that ruin. Ah, there's the balcony over there. Okay. Oink.
Maybe I should just work a double shift so I don't have to listen to him.
Okay. Bone charm over there, bone charm over there.
Are still waging war against the Howlers in the Dust District. Despite everything else going on.
Okay, apparently I just kind of apparently have a really strong kick. Ah, that's where it was. Okay.
My husband's been trying to sell.
Oink.
Why is there a wall of light protecting the palace anyway? Who's going to attack a man like the Duke?
Ooh.
What did I do to deserve this? Of all the shit assignments.
Okay.
Now, well.
Oh, gee, I wonder, sir. I wonder.
I'm a stone's throw from the
Okay, it seems like it's only the two of them. The rune's right down there, so...
on top of a building.
Okay, let's do this right. Okay. Good talk, guys. Alright. So... Even my eyes. My special eyes! Ooh. Oh, okay. Hi, how did you just phase through the wall? Look at you. Okay, I think I actually need to go in through that balcony. I think that... Oh, here it is. Technically, I like to crouch under there. But I guess I cannot. I guess I cannot. Alright, so we gotta go drop down to the balcony again. No, 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 no. Alright. You'll hear that, like, wood creaking? I did not like that. Oh.
Wait, I'll have a look over there.
Mild panic, mild panic. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Whew. The hardest part is remembering I have the time stop and remembering to take my fucking fingers off the keys.
Thinking about me right now.
Hello? Oh, it's because it was an entirely different stairwell. Wait, no, this is the one I was just in. What the fuck? What the fuck? I know I looked in somewhere and saw... Ah, it was that one.
Not this one.
Yep, let me up. Keep just donking my head. Yeah, it was that one right there that I saw. Hi, guys. Oh, Christ. Ow, there's still more of y'all? There's still enough of y'all to... Oh! Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Damn, I thought I saw a fucking keeper earlier when we walked past. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it for one ruin? What's wrong, Hollowed? Also, hi, Izzle. Hope you're having a lovely stream. I'm playing one of my favorite games. Well, lollygagging through one of my favorite games. I think we should... He seems so bothered down there. Okay. So.
Who's coming from here? Let's see.
No, nobody there.
Hello? Okay. I think we're just gonna go ahead instead of doing all the hunt for everything. Alright. Whoops. To the Grand Palace! Queen of Lore, the Nest Keeper, was apparently a huge fan of Dowd. That specific Nest Keeper? Or...
You bet I am. I just got the answer about my transfer.
I heard a guard.
Collect the fees we want, and give out the beatings when they're needed.
Just don't want my kids growing up here. It's too dangerous.
Why next month? The command staff changes constantly. New officers, new rules. And spread a few coins here and there among the officers.
Really? Really? Oh, wait, can I not? Oh, okay. Clunk, 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 clunk. Okay. I'm sure this will be fine. Okay.
There's another spirit here. Beyond its cage of flesh.
The palace. Maybe I can find another way to neutralize the Duke.
Okay. So I know we have a like look-alike here. The thing is, identify and talk to the body double. Oh shit! Okay, it tells me that there's a body double, so I guess I already knew that. So that's even better.
Gotta get a spare uniform. Sure,
Hold on. Let's see what it says for clues. Keeping a vault key on him. Protected Luca Bell in his quarters tonight. Okay, we know the shop code. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we know he's going to be in his quarters. So... there's a painting of Dowd in that apartment. We don't have bin time, do we? We do have bin time. We have maxed out bin time. Oh. Okay. Apparently we already know the hidden passage? Okay, it works for me. Yoink. Okay, mild panic. Mild panic. Okay. So, apparently he's up there. Do we go do the secret passage first, or do we do this first? I don't know which. I really don't. But yes, fair. We do have bin time. I I forget how you're supposed to figure out which is which. And I don't know if you're supposed to just kind of ignore the body double or talk to him. Or I think I should go to the hidden passage first.
With this blaze, check central rotor.
Fuck, there's robots. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm guessing that's Delilah's piece there. So we're gonna go down. Yeah, it's on the first floor. I'm stuck. Ever so slightly stuck.
If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
Houston, we have a problem. I could not get out. It's doing the thing again!
Make a note. Remove this back after the final field test.
Are we gonna talk about the fact that the statue is obviously Delilah?
We've been playing every day for weeks now. All of this to entertain a statue.
Oh, you can. Oh, that's right.
Believes Empress Delilah can talk to him through the statue.
Well, if you're trying to pull off some witchcraft love trick, he's doing it wrong. And I can't feel my fingertips anymore.
Sometimes a man just needs time by himself. My responsibilities weigh upon me.
Cruel man.
Oh!
Even now.
You're fucking joking. Of course it was at eye level. What was I thinking? Okay. Wait, what did that say? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Should have known. We'll do this one. I think this one will be fine. Question mark.
But don't leave me. I want to be alone with my thoughts.
Okay. So, guards coming down. Let's see where this guard goes first, and then we can get rid of him.
Runwell's always been a place of strange luck for me. My poor brother died there. But that's where I met Delilah.
Oh, there you are, sir. Okay. Oh.
I met her as a boy, just a boy.
He sounds like he's practicing. So I feel like this is the body double. Fuck.
He is nothing like his father. Tedious meeting. Endless complaints from the miners.
Okay, I think this is the real one. I think this is the real one. We demand more words? Wait, for the commercial break? Oh, son of a bitch. I'm sorry. That's why you were throwing things at me. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I was too invested on figuring out who the fake one is. Okay. And see, now I'm stuck. All right, we need to go down. We need to go find that secret passage. Do I dare? So that looks like it's actually one level lower.
Whole family's done to death. So disfigured. Blood fly nests all around.
I don't think I'm gonna break. I don't think I'm gonna break the elevator. Oh, son of a bitch. Not what I wanted to do, but okay. And I'm trying to get it to like realize that I'm on the same fucking level. There we go. Okay.
The machine has completed another full instruction set.
Can't tell. Okay, Chaos Corvo run. Guard there.
What I wouldn't give for a bottle of pear soda.
More pear soda. All right. Here, we're gonna swap in. You're going in 0. Do I dare test it? Let's do this. Ooh.
What would you do if you were the Duchess of Serkonos or some other ruler? The Queen of Morley or even the Empress?
More of what I already
Okay.
do. Screwing, eating fine meals, smoking the best heroin. And when I wasn't doing that, I'd be buying having my own
Papa needs a win. Some kind of trouble in this part of town? Honestly, why can't they keep riffraff in a separate place?
Jesus, why are there so many people here?
Maybe I should hire my own bodyguard. I don't feel safe anymore.
I think I have to access the secret thing through Chaos Corvo run from the shadows, I suppose.
No one says no
I have to listen to one more complaint, I'm just going to burst.
certain.
Uh-oh. Really? Seriously?
The dinner service was late. The bathwater was too warm, and let's see, oh yes, my slippers weren't in their usual spot. What next?
Dude, how pathetic can you be?
You've made your bed and have to lie in it.
How fun could it be to clean a few things?
I don't make my
Honestly,
bed.
why do I pay for
Ever.
a house full of servants when
That's
they
what
don't do
servants
anything?
are for.
Anyway. Okay. Ah, yes, the dome. Hidden passage. Okay, let's do it this way. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure there's a way in on this dome somewhere.
It seems the Duke has some of the Jindosh Clockwork soldiers. Let's see what Duke Bell keeps hidden away in here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a That's the power box right beneath me. I think I can get it. Here, let's do this just to be sure. I don't want to have to spend the mana for stop time if I don't have to. Okay.
This must lead to the Duke's vault, but I need his key.
Ah. All right, do we want to go steal his key? Oh, son of a bitch. Woo. I didn't like that sound. What was that sound? I'm sure that's fine. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hold on, I gotta wait for that regen. There we go. Oof. Oof. Ooh! Taking your shits. Okay. And we've already taken care of the one guard that's in here, so this shouldn't be too... Fuck me. Are you serious? Alright, fuck it. Chat, remind me to open that door in a second, once we're back inside. Oh, that's right, we're maxed out on those. Let me in! Let me in! God damn it. Oh my god. Game. Game. There's fun Easter egg above level 1. Hmm. Elaborate. That's not the right floor. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, that's not the right one. And I don't have enough mana for that one. Because of course I don't.
Faces and fingers. That's where to work.
There he goes.
This
Thanks,
must
bud.
be the key to the Duke's vault.
Excuse me, pardon me. Totally already haven't taken out all of your guards, Duke. Okay. Now we can go do this. Easy peasy, baby. Easy peasy. Okay. Ooh, scared me for a second.
This must be the Duke's vault.
Okay. Seems like there's not much else in here. That's a hive keeper. Kinda gross. Kinda gross, not gonna lie. Yum. Yum. Oh, ooh. Why does... Oh! Motherfucker. Motherfucker. I knew there was one in here. Because there just fucking had to be. Of course there had to be. I also don't remember. Is there a way to deal with these guys without like engaging them? Do y'all know? Because I think we just avoided them in the last one. Oh! Like, can I do anything to them right now? Oh. Oh, that's right. It has an eye on the back of its head. I forgot it has an eye on the back of its fucking head. Somewhere on it? Okay. I think the best way to do this is probably stop time. To find the button. Well, the thing is, I never really, like, got rid of these guys. Where's the button? Nameplate. Fuck. I didn't see a button. You can drop assassinate them. Oh, well, does that kill him?
This is the thing Ashworth made to hold Delilah's spirit.
Because there's no lights down there, I don't think. Well, actually, can I get on top of those bookcases, maybe? I wonder.
Extra diagnostic playback loop.
Yeah, it looks like I could probably get on top of the bookcase.
Increasing oil tank temperature.
Are you serious? Might be under the number tag. Oh. Like, I can see it highlighted right now. Like, you'll see how it, like, lit up. But... I'm stuck for a second. Can I steal this painting? Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. I thought I was already crouching. Are you serious? Okay, hold on. One more time. That was a fail. Don't know why that didn't count as a drop. I can't. There's no like indicator to grab it. Do I need, hold on. Could I like pull it off with Far Reach? No, that's Blink. That's not Far Reach. Nope. Nope. Inhibition with the moving convert. Yes, they did, but like, I don't remember it. Do I need to see if it's like, is there like the tutorials section? Tutorials. Sunmine Razor. Maybe in notes, like maps. It's gonna be all lore stuff. It's not gonna be audiographs. Okay, there's not another notes thing here. It's pretty okay. I kind of just want to take his gold. Which, like, now that this thing's blind, that makes it a lot easier.
Extra diagnostic playback loop.
Okay. Gimme.
This is it. You must release me from this.
Okay, Mom. Whatever you say.
To trap Delilah's spirit.
Do this. You were all I ever wanted.
Spring razors work on them? I know stun mines also work on them.
The world is better for your influence.
It's no big deal. Taking its head off is plenty.
Peace, Mother. I will honor you. Always.
I love you. And this is the final thought I carry into my house.
Wait, does that mean even when we die, we're not going to get to see her? Because this game insinuates that there is a active afterlife. I have several questions!
So it's done. Now to take Delilah.
I can feel a great age ending. Oh boy.
The heart of my half-sister? Only her flesh remains.
Yeah.
Maybe Delilah's spirit was holding it together.
Hello? Oh, he exploded. Why did he explode up there? Wait, what is that little yellow thing? Wait. Oh, that's the rewire tool. Get plaque. Okay. Though that has uncomfortable metaphysical implications? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Oh. Button. Yes. I'm fucking blind. Can't see shits. Why is it so bright? My eyes. Okay, where's his bone charm? Yes. Hi, Delilah.
Delilah Copperspoon.
Familiar scent. Ooh. Yep. That'll be useful since we're doing stealth and stuff. And then I think the mission after this is... Okay. I know what that one is. Okay, hold on. I'm pretty sure this goes... Either this one or somewhere nearby goes... Yeah, see... Yeah, okay, it was through the cellar. But we don't need to worry about that. Because... I'm gonna go back out. And I want to go get... I forgot I closed the vault door after we came in.
Introducing graphite. Increasing oil tank temperature. the machine has detected something. Something tripped the detection rig unduly.
Okay. I feel like there was something out there that I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh god, the flickering. Good lord, the flickering.
Maybe I should just work a double shift, so I don't have to listen to
When this plays, check Central Rotor.
Right down there is where I need to go.
Walking when gonna see me.
Yep. Okay. Why do I feel like I'm lagging? Why does the frame rate feel like jittery? Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, there's something in here. Excuse me, pardon me. We're just gonna... Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Oh god, my Twitch chat messed up. Splish splash, I'm taken. Oh, okay. Thank you, don't mind if I do. Forgot how I came in here. Then if you excuse me, we're going past. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Smack.
Spend hours just looking across the bay.
Hi guys. Anyway.
We get a few, but not today.
Okay. Chat, are you still there? Or is my Twitch chat broken?
This is the life, isn't it?
Expands on the whole void being an afterlife thing. Kind of, maybe a little bit.
Of course, splendid idea.
I'm glad people are too drunk to notice me here. All right, do we go knock this guy on his ass, or how do we do this? Chat,
The land agent to re-inspect the riverside.
how do we do this? I'm migrating, so I'm spacing out a lot. That's okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure chat was doing all right, because I got the Twitch reload chat thing, and I'm like, please tell me it's still working. Please tell me it's still working. I'm not missing things. Okay, we're just gonna do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, eat a bunch of his fruit. Do not want to put that. Here, let's see if we can find some, like,
I'm intrigued.
notes or something around here. I don't think we are, although I can take all of his bathing salts. You're gonna smell like shit, sir. Okay. Okay, do I just try to talk to him or do I just knock his ass on the ground? Holly-heeled ass Villa do it in this universe? I think that's exactly the point. Nom, 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 nom.
Carry one tray at a time. I'm only human. One tray. Do they think there are two of me?
Hello. Oh, that's the one that we saw before. Not even your emergency bathing salts can save you. Silvermine owner and advocate for workers called for a meeting with Duke Luca Bell to negotiate the creation of a new fund to benefit the victim. Okay, yeah, we read this one also. I'm sad I can't open this box. What the hell is that sound? Is that him? Oh, the office. There it is. Okay. All right. We're gonna go look in the office. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Which I think technically should be here. Oh, shit.
Weeks have I been at sea, chasing monsters in the brine, dancing hagfish.
Okay. Okay, I think we're good. I am also going to take this after I use one.
Take this opportunity to back charge second coil.
Okay. Give me that. Maxed on that. Okay.
Stop it already.
Huh?
Sir, we were confused by your most recent response. The Duke was, well, he was furious. He sent me to interview you about your progress.
One of the maids took me for a walk. We dug beetles in the park with shiny green shells.
Oh, it is Jindosh. Okay, I was like, that's interesting.
Were you successful at lowering the cost of Clockwork Soldier production? The Duke is expecting a reduction of 80 to 90%.
80 to 90% in the reduce of cost? Impossible. Oh, Jindosh.
You've been given everything you requested, but with that comes a responsibility for deadlines.
Do they not realize that something's wrong? It spawns in the lower levels, I believe. Okay. Okay, so maybe I should just knock him out.
So what can I tell the Duke?
I had a visitor, I think. But maybe they came for Sokolov's. I have to recall the details.
I've listened to it at a distance because when I started it, it triggered, like, I heard the alert sound, so I didn't want to be on the ground when it went off. I still feel really bad. I still feel really bad to have essentially electrocuted the guy. Hold on, I wonder, can I take that painting? Okay. Yeah, so I think I need to go knock out this Luca Abel, and then we can go hunt down the double, right? Right? Just to be sure. I'm doing a hard save. Just so that we have that. Okay.
You're not one of Delilah's. Are you here about my new boots, perhaps? I want them redone.
Huh? He said boots? Hi, sir. Another book of Duchess in Green. Okay. Thanks, I will take that. Another one. To Grand Counselors. I won't be able to attend our gathering tomorrow morning, or should I say in 2 hours? I'm going to bed now. Buy more Walls of Lights. Give the Grand Guard greater enforcement latitude. Ban all popular committees. Whatever is required, but I want you to start thinking about something else. I have no doubt we'll soon bring the infamous Crown Killer to justice. Our true Empress Delilah wants the trial to make history. Prepare all the details, bloody exhibits, and demented witnesses. If I don't cry while reading the prosecution speech, you're all fired.
When I first met with my inner circle,
Okay.
I saw nervous faces. Even the boldest were afraid, wondering if we'd live to see another feast. Now Serkonos is ascendant.
Is that Wilson Fisk from the Netflix Daredevil show, or am I wrong? You could be right. I would look it up.
When I was only a boy, and even after she was lost, dead, and gone from the world.
Wait, what do you mean you met her when you were a boy?
Until finally
Aiming
I began
on the
to hear
balcony?
her whispering, calling to me from the void, telling her story of Dunwall Tower, and that my sister had cheated her of her throne. Then she told me there was a way to bring her home. Delilah. Beautiful. Immortal.
Not me as fuck. Oh, is that it? We still didn't get any extra information? What do we do with him then? We pick him up. We'll just like, we'll kind of just put him right here. Have a nap, sir. Okay. Whee! Okay, so we're still missing something. Here, let's look at our mission clues. Talk to the... Okay, so we still have to talk to the body double. Create less chaos, resulting in more optimistic ending. Na-na-na-na. Okay. So I think we just have to go look for him. I suppose. For now. No, we're not gonna... Son of a bitch. We haven't taken a map of this place. Dare I go exploring? He painted look like a Minecraft skin. I can see that. He was very blocky. Here. That's the office. Bathroom. Oh. So she was... Wait. Oh no, that's a guard. Okay. Ooh. Come on, Paus. Go somewhere else. Oh. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
My nerves are shot. Something unsavory going on.
Oh shit, there's also a servant in here. Whoop. Where did that servant lady go? I'm gonna try to knock them out, both of them out with just one. Aha. Come on, get close enough. There we go. Sorry, ma'am.
Huh?
Okay. Nom, 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 nom. Ooh! Just the one, just the one, just the one, just the one. Oh, you're fucking joking. Okay, that was just her path. I'm pretty sure that was just her path. Whew. Okay. Wow, they really were friends, I guess? Kind of. Practicing her little witchcraft. Okay, wait a second. Is it in the bathroom? Man, why do you have a corrupted bone charm in here? Stolen breath. Pulling enemies towards you with far reach is now oh. Okay, now hear me out. Wait. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Oh, but wait, no, I don't think it pulls them to me. I think it just kind of like pulls them up. Didn't we test that? Right? I think we tested that. Here, let me see if there's something I can do really quick. No, I don't want to sacrifice ruins. No. Sacrifice bone charm. Void favor. Trait already known. Okay, then that means we can go real quick. I want void favor. There it is. And then we're gonna stack this. Where is it? 4 times. Because I just realized how much extra whalebone we have. Okay. You don't have bones in your bathroom? Well, I have bones. I don't have a bone charm though. Especially a corrupted one. My bone charms are flawless, as you can see. As you can see. All right, there's the regular void favor. Nice. Nice. All right. So now, I don't know what the percentage is, but now we have an even higher chance of never actually spending mana whenever we use our magic shit. Okay, yeah, these are all under me. I was hoping to find, like, paperwork or something in here. Ah, it's that one down there. Okay, really quick. Because we did that, I want to do another hard save. Yes, Lich King, what can I do for you? Like, where should I expect to find him? Does anybody know? You doing good? I am doing good. It's just, I'm kind of annoyed. I can't find the portal. Wait. Does he have the broken neck? He does. So they just use this exact same turtle from the broken section for the whole thing. Hey, buddy. Sorry. It was too long ago. That's fair. I mean, I can't expect everybody to know. Hi, buddy. Okay. It's nearby, but it's not on this floor. Hi, button. Yeah, this is the secret room. Big. Somebody is not watching that rabbit roasting, but okay, that's fine. Oh, I thought the rats were eating him for a second. There's even a dog in there. Why is there a dog in there? Okay, we were on this side before. And we know the robot is above. Ugh. I'm pretty good at finding info. I could look it up, but yeah, if you can find it, like, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be like in the cellar or anything. Okay.
Machine is experiencing uncertainty.
You have to understand.
Oh, you're fucking joking. Anyway, I'm good. We're gonna go back. Oh God, why did it autosave there? Hello? Okay, so maybe there's somebody useful in that room and I just didn't realize it. Pathing back that way. Let's go check that room over there. Oh!
It's not something bad. Nah, maybe it's nothing.
Look at all these dudes that are just passed out. Kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Better in there. That dude's passed out. All right, let's try this. Can either be in the throne. Okay, we haven't found the throne room.
Watch my own back.
We saw the private garden. I don't think he was there. Body double's a smoker.
It must be nice to be on the Duke's payroll.
Oh, he can see me. So, yeah, that's the office. Oh, pain. Palace District under orders. Issued severe okay. Can we make it in? Can we make it in? Oh!
A long night. I've ordered food.
Wait, why did I just get a mission clue? Someone mentioned they'd be delivering food to the Duke's quarters tonight. Huh? Oh. Okay, I guess I overheard that. I feel like he's in the throne room. Does that mean I need to go back up there?
If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil. Make a note. Remove this playback after the final field test.
Okay, yeah, that's the one up there that I'm hearing.
Just my luck.
General detection state. Return to idle.
Okay. Whew. Should I just... How the fuck do they not see you? Listen, I'm sneaky, okay? And I was crouched, obviously. It's entirely because I was crouched. I'd like to try and get up there. Okay. There's another thing I did not check before was if there were open slats on any of these. Doesn't look like it. Yoink. Maybe that. Okay. Oh my god, I'm stuck again. Fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. Come on, we're going to hide here. I don't think I understand what to do with this one. Also, why is there fruit in here? It's mine now. It's mine now. Hi, Misplaced Pixel. How are you doing? Alright, I think I flubbed up again. I think we need to go back and try to find the throne room. What floor were we on a second ago? 3? 2? I don't know, hold on. Office, guest room, game room, lounge, Duke of Bells. Reception and dining. Ugh. Oh my god. Get up. Hi, Hex. Fuck, your secret fruit stash. Pretty sure there was an opportunity you overheard. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it's marked, but said, like, deliver food. Because, like, if I go to, like, my clues, it didn't show up until right here. Someone mentioned to deliver food to the Duke's quarters tonight. But I don't know if I need to go back to where we heard that. Oh. I'm pretty sure we need to go up a couple floors. I'm pretty sure it's this floor. Not 100% on that. Yeah, here's the office. This is Delilah's quarters. Which, everything is below us by 1. That's the office again. So, alright, we got 5 minutes until the ad break. Yeah, we went down here. Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Okay. Where is this? Oh, there it is. Okay, so... Okay. That looks like a bath or something. Hi, Lade.
Combat Protocol 8.
Are you serious? You have got to be shitting me. Okay, let's go back outside. You know what I didn't realize is I think this is... Isn't this right beneath me, the throne room? I think it is. Oh, hi. Okay, so... I'm trying to see if I can see...
This shirt reeks. I gotta get a spare uniform.
Hi, buddy.
Really go for a whiskey.
Oh, hi. God damn it. Where did you come from? Hi, Stevie. Whoa. Okay, then. There's got to be another one here. Works for me. Same verse, same as the second verse, same as the first. Hi, buddy. Thanks for your shit. And then... there's one guy that's unconscious. He's not here. Colonial murder game? Yeah, colonial murder game. Oh!
Hello?
Oh, there is a servant here. Okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna be in the private garden then, which we were over there earlier.
Count me in.
Oh, hi guys.
I don't recognize you.
Shut up.
I can't do anything for you.
Hi.
You'd better run.
I can't believe this place. You have to
Whatever
understand.
you need.
I like that they don't count as nope, there's the enemy. Never mind. There's the enemy. Okay, here. Are we about to have an ad break? The countdown just disappeared for me. Okay, that's where we came out.
Maybe I should hide. In my own
Okay.
God. I don't feel safe anymore.
I don't like where this is going. When was... Which one was it? It wasn't this section, right? It was that one. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100%. All right, there's the ad break. Good timing, because I really got to go to the bathroom. Let me see. Do I have the... I do have the fishing game. Ta-da! All right, chat. I'm going to give you all the music. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm on it. I see it. I see it, Ordain. I see it. No need to ding-dong. No need to ding-dong. All right, I need to run to the bathroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Have fun, kids. Okie dokie, you guys. All right. Good timing. Nearly perfect timing. Holy shit. All right. Put the fishing away. Y'all can still play the fishing game too whenever it's tucked away like this. Let me go ahead and do this. All right. Now what the fuck were we doing? Private garden? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing, but that's fine. Wink. Yeah. We already disabled that thing. There he is. Okay. Nap time. Are you serious? Oh, there's also a dog in there? All right, hold on. I forgot that they were wearing helmets. I think that saved before I did the shots. That's interesting. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, it is. It is actually before I took the shot. Where's the dog? There he is. Can I not? It doesn't seem like I can. Hey, buddy.
I'm not the man you want. I swear it.
Okay.
Jessamine is gone at last, faded into nothing. Her reward is
I can't like talk to him now, I guess. I mean, what? Don't get to the top of getting someone? I thought you said you didn't want to be at the top anymore.
You will never get back what you lost here.
Let me talk to you. Fuck. All right, go back, go back. You binked it? I did bink it. I think I binked it. But how am I supposed to know who's who? If I can't, like, attack him. I was trying to talk to him, but he wouldn't talk to me. He just cowered. Like...
Jessamine is gone at last, faded into nothing. Her reward is
Here, let me... Is there, like... I've got to be missing something somewhere. How the fuck am I supposed to identify who's who? I just heard the lighter.
Something like this. Not let time be wasted. Ridiculous. Why would they even bother me? It's not me. Of course it's them. Not me. Of course it's them. Why would it ever be me?
Well, there's them. How do I get the game to realize I know that this is the fake? Whew. All right, hold on. I'm gonna look this up. This is bothering me now. All right, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Body double. How do you figure out who's the body double? Yeah, guide. You just talked to him? Well, the thing is, it won't let me. So, like, I have to already, like, somehow know, I think. No. The first captain's floor, dining hall. Find the secret passage, Duke's office. Okay, swap the Duke with his double. Eventually asked to be alone, giving you the perfect time to talk to the double about swapping places with the Duke. Get the key to the vault as long as you knock him out if you're out in the gardens or the throne room. Maybe easier to go to the vault via the dome as you bring the Duke to his bed. Okay. So yeah, I'm supposed to be able to talk to him. Somehow? But, like... See, there's no... Oh. Is he sending them away? Son of a
just
bitch.
saw something.
Oh, fuck, you didn't. Shut up. He just smokes! It says he's supposed to send them away at some point. But... like... oh... You know, the first guy, sent them away. Sent his guard downstairs. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Chad, I think we fucked up. I think we fucked up. When you're close enough to him? Does this not count as close enough? Because, like, I'm literally on top of him. Is this the real one? I don't think so, because Jessamine was like, no, it's fine. Right? Do we have to go all the way back to before we knocked out the other one? No, because the heart's useless.
You will never gain back what you lost here.
The heart is useless to us now because it just has Delilah in it. All she does is tell us that we've lost something and that it will never work again. When we right click, like I can target him.
I'm your only family.
That's it. That's all I got. Hi, Snicks. How are you doing? Chat, did we fuck it all the way back at the beginning? Do I have to go back? I think I have to go back. Chats, are you ready? Are you ready, kids? Also, hold on. Who's the one who's supposed to... I assume the real one had the vault key, which means the other one's the real one. This one had the chest key. Right? Or does it matter? But, like... you'll get the key to the vault as long as you knock him out. If you're out in the gardens of the throne room, it may prove easier. Okay. So yeah. Technically, we're supposed to be able to talk to him. Talk to the double. But... okay, we're gonna risk a thing. I'm gonna quick save. And when he walks over here, I'm gonna see if I can talk to him. Thank you, Snicks. I already forgot. Is it hold F? Okay, it is hold F to put weapons away. Here, if I stand up, though, do you think he's probably going to run, right?
Leave me. I want to be alone with my thoughts.
There it is. He just had to see me.
Oh. Anyone here? Show yourself.
Yeah, so he had to see me. Okay. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud.
Something's going
on. Seriously? The dog? The dog? I'm upset. I'm upset. We're gonna do a quick save again. I'm gonna put the dog to sleep. No, that didn't work. Okay, so we just gotta do it quietly. You fucking dork, I just said that. Okay, maybe I like don't.
Sometimes a man just needs time by himself. My responsibilities weigh upon me.
Who's she to say I didn't deserve the promotion? She wouldn't know promotion would hit her in the head.
Okay. But the dog's awake. I wanted to take all this shit first.
No offer to bow or kiss my hand.
I could say the same.
A mystery. Let's have it then. Who are you and what do you want?
Very, very good double. I think you're the double.
Listen, I think you're the Duke's body double. You can't have any love for the man. I'm here to end his rule.
I mean, we did also get to hear you mumbling while smoking.
All right, you've figured it out. But if you're not here to assassinate the Duke, what do you want?
Also, all the fucking bugs flying around.
More agreeable Duke than Luca Abel. If I wanted to depose him without having to slit his throat,
I'm kind of concerned that when this conversation's over, I'm gonna accidentally take a step, or the dog's gonna be right behind me and instantly aggro.
If people believed that I was actually Duke Abel and that he was the political decoy, we could have him committed for lunacy. We could convince everyone that the Double's finally lost his mind and believes he's the Duke. I've spent years perfecting my performance, but there's a catch. He's got a medallion that I need. Even if I sound convincing, which should be the easy part, his Grand Guard officers will ask to see the medallion as proof. Luca never puts
Well, lucky for me, he's already passed out on a daybed, so, you know.
Once it's done, I'll be leaving the city. Soon after, I'll send instructions from Dunwall, and I'll expect a great deal of flexibility and cooperation on your part. There's still time to pull Serkonos back from the edge of the cliff. We can undo the damage Duke Abel has inflicted.
I'd like that. But I'll guide Serkonos in the ways I see fit for the people here, not as the hand-chosen puppet of your empire. If you agree with that, just render the Duke unconscious and bring him to his chambers. I'll handle the rest.
Easy, baby. Easy. Uh-oh. I say easy and then I'm about to fuck it up. Never mind, I nailed it. I'm so good at this game. So good at this game. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna do it this way. Wink. We'll do it the safe way. I was tempted to do the run and jump teleport, but I didn't want to risk not getting enough range. Hup. Oh, it looks like that's actually changed, which is interesting. So I'm guessing maybe the food thing gives us an option for like poison? Okay. Yoo-hoo, Duke Abel. Is that Vincent D'Onofrio? I have no idea, my guy. All right, let's go. Bedtime. Bedtime. This mission took way longer than it needed to be. God, look at the size of this bed.
That's it then. Now it's up to me. I'll take the medallion and call them.
I'll be watching. Break a leg.
Don't worry. I've spent years mimicking this asshole.
I dig it. I dig it. Oh.
Captain Almeida, come at once to my chambers. There's a problem. Quick, hide up there.
Where's up there? Did I actually get? Oh my god, I get like a cutscene moment.
Yes, Captain. Please arrest this clown. took his role a little too seriously. Get your hands off me! He served me well for years. We'll never find anyone else who so bears my resemblance. Take him away, Captain, but be gentle.
I think I understand, Your Eminence. We'll handle it.
What? This is outrageous.
He didn't explain anything, and she's just like, I think I understand. I believe I understand.
Something we could do for him. I suppose all those years pretending it was me that eventually took its toll. No.
Ah, yes. Victorian mental wellness.
You can't do this.
Dr. Hypatia at Adamire will know what to do with the poor man.
Oh, you're gonna send him to Hypatia, the lady that we cured? Oh, boy. She's like, we cooing? We cooing? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's the insinuation she got. Or... Well done.
I'm still trying to get my head around this. It's incredible.
All right. So... And escape the palace we shall. Now... Go this way. Hup, hup.
If this plays, the machine is recharging the magnetic coil.
Okay. It's fine.
General detection state.
No, the fuck you didn't. Shut the hell up. Also, hold on. We have not looked at the stats. Okay. Okay, we hadn't looked at it in a long time. I did not want to have to go back. All right, come on, Morgan.
There. Now to wait.
Are different, and she's head guard, so... I mean, their voices are, like, slightly different, but the thing is I think all the people, including the guard, think that the real Duke Bell is crazy. So if she's smart enough to recognize it, or if she genuinely believes the plan that, like, oh yeah, this guy is the fake. He's totally the fake. Oh, she's not coming all the way here. Okay. Morgan. I need to jump to the boat, really?
So, is that it? The fall
The
of
fucking
Karnak?
water, dude.
From now on, the Duke will be guided by
Fake Duke
better
says what?
Back
Fake
to
Duke
the
says what?
dreadful Whale, then, and on toward Dunwall.
Yes, at long last. To take back the throne and find a way to save my father.
Ready then?
God, I didn't realize how long this game is when you try to do the non-lethal stuff. Killing in this game is the easy mode, apparently. What do you mean, killed? Who died? I didn't kill nobody. I'm upset. I call bullshit. Who did I kill? Oop. Oop.
I grew up with this broken skyline. The muted colors and the way the light...
Clean hands in this playthrough? No, we've gotten a couple. We've had a couple other rounds that were just like that.
But it's not.
And it's the fucking... I think it's Domino. I think Domino is glitched. Where sometimes when you put somebody to sleep, it kills the other people tied to Domino.
You were smart when you stole this place from me. You knew who among my people to corrupt. And you took away my strongest ally.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like Dunwall was a pretty easily corruptible legislature.
You only saw a sheltered princess. You never thought I'd fight back. You don't know me, Delilah.
To replay this game in the future, we have to do perfect no-kill. We do no weapons, no magic, no kill. Christ, can you imagine? That sounded more like void noises. Anyway, guitar. Make sure we write our stuff down. The new Cyberpunk of the Carnival. Oh, good lord. Okay. Okay. Hello. Hold on. Uh-huh.
Remarkable what Delilah's accomplished.
Megan Foster's cabin key.
Such a background. Taking the throne.
No. Hold on. I have an idea. Ooh.
At least the situation with
This is Sokolov's room, isn't it?
Let's not forget that small detail in all this. Drunken despot.
I'm still aboard this creaking thing that Megan calls a boat.
You fucking dork.
And comes Sokolov.
I doubt my apartment on Caldwell's.
Wait, hold on. I want to see if...
I want a chance to talk.
Do I need to steal... Hold on. Can I... No, I can't open that. I want to see if the, like, side thing...
The vow I wouldn't come back here. And that's twice I've broken it for you.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Megan Foster's notebook. What day is it? I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know what'll happen. No one can know, but I'm feeling that we'll all be dead soon. Everyone dies, just like my sweet Deirdre. Twitching in the mud, but I think death is very close now. The air feels strange. I don't know. Something tells me, Morgan, that you're gonna have a long, fulfilling life.
Exactly what it took to save Emily Caldwell from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation.
That's
I've learned
Dowd.
that our choices always matter to someone, somewhere.
Billy Lurk, Dowd. Oh my god.
In ways we can't always fathom.
Yeah, from the end of the Brigmore Witches.
Come back to us.
I want Dishonored 3 so bad too. I need it. I need it.
Made my living as a killer.
All right, Morgan. We gotta talk, baby girl. Sorry, Anton. Your conversation just isn't nearly as important.
I wonder what Delilah's...
Megan.
Dishonored 3 whole cows.
People have called me that for a long time.
Just didn't hit the same. Just Deathloop is technically in the same universe. Also, why is there a sunken whaler there?
Everyone's full of secrets. Why do I feel like you've got more to say?
How bad is this city doing if they're sinking their whaling ships?
I can't believe I'm telling you this, but you deserve the truth. I'll just say it. 15 years ago, I ran with a mercenary gang. We got paid to kill people.
Yeah.
Some who deserved it.
Yeah.
Some who didn't.
I wish we could have the like fun little RPG moment, like TTRPG moment of like, yeah, I know, and then hand her back her fucking cabin key.
This is hard to admit.
Whatever it is, spit it out.
Our leader was the assassin Dowd, and I was part of the crew. Our last big job together, we were paid to...
You helped Dowd kill my mother?
Yes. I don't know what else to say. I've lived a very long time wishing
The Dowd theme from the first game? Oh yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my goodness. Okay. Changing those times.
I can't ever forgive you for what you did.
What? That's not what I clicked.
But suffering has a way of twisting people.
Okay, there we go.
You're a different woman today than you were then.
Yeah. We've all been hurt. But not all of us did what I did. Or became what Delilah became.
Ooh.
I know you'll never get over it. But
Is this
neither
Dowd's
will I.
theme or is this the Whalers theme?
I hope not. Goodbye, Billy. I'm taking the skiff, and I'll go alone from here.
Okay, hold on. I guess we'll go talk to Anton then. Anton! Versus when your character actually says them? Oh, yeah. Anton.
You know where to go to find Delilah, but how will you handle her? It's my hope that you have some sort of plan.
I mean,
It could be tricky.
no.
She might not give me any choice but to fight. And Delilah deserves whatever she gets.
I'm sure there's the non-lethal
I've come to
option.
distrust words like deserve. As I told you, I knew her long ago. Badly wounded, deep at her center, but cunning, and looking for a way to pull herself up. Perhaps more than anything,
Is it bad? I do kind of like her style.
Imagining the world as a better place.
I do think Delilah has
That
style
could
in this
channeled
game.
towards something less twisted.
It's probably too late to
She
dwell
gives you
on
advice on how to
regrets.
kill Delilah.
Yes,
Oh.
you're right. In any case, please watch yourself. I've come to care a great deal.
Everyone is
about
welcome, Eagles. If even a skin cell of your person enters these walls, I will skin you alive and wear it as a robe. Anyway, hold on. What did those give us? Greatly for the docks in Dunwall District's practically a ghost town now. Megan Foster's waiting on the deck. She wants to talk. Okay, we already did that. I wonder if that option only showed up because we broke into her room. I don't know. I don't know. God only knows. Ain't no way in hell. Yeah, and that's the lock right there. Whoops.
Brianna was the first to hear our call.
What do you think that is? I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's nothing. All right. But, chat, I do have bad news. That mission took such a goddamn long time. It's gonna have to wait till next week. It's gonna have to wait till next week. All right. We're swinging back over to the big screen. All right, chat. Bad news, sad news. Oh, shit. Whoops. Tried to move my shit around and it nearly broke. All right. We need to figure out who we are going to raid. Let me also make sure I turn on the music. Kira's currently playing Pokemon. Which Pokemon? I can't tell because for some reason she is still... It says Rocket Edition. I don't know what Rocket Edition is. But... let me see. Quite a few good beads on. Yeah, Nim's doing Honkai. Zoza's doing Doom Dark Ages. Azura's doing Ratchet and Clank. Biddles is doing Cuphead. Do I have anybody who's doing like another RPG or... That's miniatures. Okay, hold on. Let me go see if there's somebody else on my list. Live. Ba-ba-ba-bum. DBD. That person is practically naked. Good lord. Good lord. Of course, Newt. We'll be back tomorrow, you guys. Noon CDT. Tomorrow's gonna be a yapping day. We're probably gonna do food. I realized a couple days ago we haven't done our stupid food binge in quite a while. So if y'all want to do stupid food, we may do that tomorrow. We may do that tomorrow. Or if we hit the 50%, because we are 2% away. Yapping at the circus? Never would have guessed. Never would have guessed. But we need... I have no idea what Love in Deep Space is. Is Love in Deep Space that like Korean... Okay, I know who we're rating. I know who we're rating. We're rating Kai. Kai is currently doing Elden Ring. So, Malachi Lazuli. Gab Scott, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I misspelled Lazuli. I'm glad I didn't hit enter. All right. All right, guys, if y'all are new here, I do recommend joining the Discord so that you can stay up to date where you get everybody pings for whenever I go live. Anytime I have like sudden clips leaderboard. Sunstar made it to the top of the clips leaderboard. Damn. But that's pretty much it, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for hanging out. And thank you for enjoying the show. Good night. Go give some love to Kai. We still need a raid message. Hold on a second. Hold your horses. Raid message, raid message, raid message. Knife emote? Knife emote crime. Knife emote crime. But good night, guys.